What if we told you your childhood dreams could come true? With the added benefit of a simple gadget, you could become your very own superhero, or supervillain if you prefer. Due to the incredible leaps and bounds in science, what was once thought of as science fiction could now exist in our actual world. There are all sorts of gadgets and inventions that have been created to give us faux powers. Today we're going to take a look at them and see just how much they could cost to own. So grab your Avengers membership card and let's get started. We kick off our list with equipment that can turn you into James Bond or John Wick, a suit. But not just any old suit, a bulletproof one. The most famous of which is tailored by Garrison Bespoke. They use nanotechnology in their designs. The suit is 50% lighter than a standard Kevlar vest. The entire suit acts like a shield, with nanotubes embedded in the fabric that harden in order to block force from penetrating through. Pretty handy. But the cost of such a suit isn't cheap. For a full custom Garrison suit, you'll be looking to splash around $20,000 for the sophisticated armor. If a full suit is a little too out of your budget, you can always get a ballistic suit jacket from Aspeto. Their costs range from $2,500 to $3,500 depending on the amount of protection required. But if you're not fussed about it being fancy and just wanted to do the job of stopping bullets, then the price drops to around $1,000 with other companies. Once you get the bulletproof suit, all you're missing is the martini for the full 007 look. For those unsure, Spider-Man villain Dr. Octopus wears a mechanical contraption that provides him with 4 extra arms. He can control them with mere thought. Well, in 2018, news came out about a real-life version being created. The device being created was suggested by Aristu Mian. He was inspired by all the costumes at Comic-Con. A team then came together to make the exoskeleton a reality. The creators have dreams to use it in workplaces such as mines to move heavy objects, or even to assist in surgery. There are also hopes that it can help people with mobility issues, just like Mian. The suit was created using 3D printing, with the arms controlled via rear-mounted microcontrollers and 8 motors which power the device. The person that's leading and financing the team is Eric Finman. He bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. The money was a form of inheritance from his grandmother. In the space of a few years, Finman went from high school dropout at 15 to a multi-millionaire. He's now worth a staggering $5 million. The team at Boston Dynamic are the brains behind this Doctor Who canine-esque robot. The company first came to fame due to creating the Big Dog. Big Dog was originally created to aid soldiers in battle. However, in 2015, it was discontinued for being too noisy. Yet this led to Spot being created, a smaller and quieter version. In 2018, Spot went viral when it was shown opening a door with an attached arm. Recently, Spot was used in hospitals as an interface to limit exposure for medical staff to patients. The new version has been created to be flexible. By adding on features, the mechanical dog is set to cover a wide variety of different tasks. The cost of owning such a creature is $74,500, with a maximum of 2 per customer. But fear not, if you're from an academic or research group, you get a discount. However, the amount of discount is unspecified at this time. Businesses that purchase the bot have been warned that there will be a load of extra costs to their workspace, such as training people in operating Spot, the cost of adapting people's current job, and other such changes. Ever since we saw Iron Man fly about in his suit, we've all wanted to try it, and it could soon be a reality. Richard Browning is the inventor of the Daedalus Flight Pack. The exoskeleton suit uses 6 miniature jet engines in order for the wearer to take flight. The top speed is 85 miles per hour. Yet Browning has said it's possible that the device could go a lot faster. The new version also has a heads-up display to tell the wearer about the remaining fuel. Due to the lack of a powerful fuel source, the pack can only run for about 10 minutes before requiring refueling. Browning has stated in interviews that he can build a suit for around $50,000 due to his knack of negotiating for cheap parts. And yet the price for the consumer is said to be nearly $310,000, with some other estimates putting it closer to $410,000. But at least it's far cheaper than the estimated cost of a full Iron Man suit at $10 billion. The Pyro Mini Fire Shooter is like a cross between Spider-Man's web shooters and the X-Men's Pyro. It's designed to be used on the wrist like a watch. The Mini can shoot 2 fireballs at the same time due to a double barrel. It can hold 2 fireballs before needing to be reloaded. The barrels are filled with flash paper, a specially treated tissue paper that burns extremely quickly and vanishes in an instant. It charges up via USB and is fired by a remote control. At the moment, the Mini can be bought online for around $149. However, you may require at least two if you're a vigilante, one for each wrist. On top of that, you might need some backups as the capacity is low. However, each pack only contains enough ammo for 120 fireballs. It seems real-world scientists are often inspired by Spider-Man villains. This time we have the Green Goblin's glider. In 2019, French inventor Frankie Zapata, creator of the flyboard, showcased the new Flyboard Air. It's an incredible piece of hoverboard technology. It's claimed that the hoverboard has a top speed of 93 miles per hour with an altitude of 9,800 feet. The Flyboard Air is powered by 5 turbines and runs on kerosene. The kerosene is stored within a backpack on the rider's back, which is connected to the board. The Flyboard Air is operated with a remote control in the person's hand. Zapata even holds the world record for longest hoverboard flight at 7,389 feet. To get your hands on the Flyboard Air, the estimated cost is believed to be $250,000. In 2019, Zapata received a grant from the French military of nearly $1.45 million to invest in flyboard technology. The MCU's Spider-Man has created legions of fans that would love to wall crawl as great as Peter Parker. Well, it might be possible soon. Gecko gloves were created by students at Stanford University. There are 24 adhesive tiles on each pad, each covered in tiny sawtooth-shaped nanofibers. They can unstick when pulled in the correct direction. The creators have said it can hold up to 2,000 pounds of weight in theory. Besides living out a childhood dream, the gloves can have practical uses, such as aiding robots in lifting large glass panels. The creators have even spoken to NASA about using it on spacecrafts to safely remove debris. When asked about the cost, Professor Andre Guyam stated, quote, "It would cost tens of thousands of pounds because it's a prototype," unquote. But if you fancy becoming Spider-Man, we have the math on how many dollar bills you'll need. For the basic outfit, it's a little over $1 million. But for the MCU's high-tech version, you're looking at over $16 million. Magneto is known for his amazing magnetic abilities. The sometimes villain, sometimes hero is able to manipulate metallic objects with just a thought. Online, you can find instructions on creating electromagnetic shoes. The electromagnetic versions have a switch to allow you to turn it on and off in order to actually walk on metal. There are some designs that rely on brute strength rather than a switch, which aren't nearly as successful. However, it will require a whole host of materials to create. There are weaker variations available for purchase online. For those that work on metal roofs, they can purchase magnetic boots in order to keep their balance and provide extra grip and support. These can be bought for the price of around $229. We aren't too far from being like Iron Man or Exo-Man of War. The world's militaries have been playing around with exoskeletons for a number of years. Instead of encasing a person in armor, these suits offer unprecedented support to limbs with minimal material. One of the biggest exoskeleton designs is the Onyx by Lockheed Martin for the U.S. Army. The knees are just one of the key areas that a soldier can suffer injuries with due to carrying heavy supplies. The Onyx takes all that weight from the knees and redistributes it to the exoskeleton, letting the soldier exert themselves farther and longer than before. This exoskeleton uses an AI to read a person's movements and adapts accordingly. In 2018, the value of the exoskeleton market was estimated to be $192 million. The U.S. Army was provided with $6.9 million in funds for developing exoskeletons. For the Onyx alone, Lockheed Martin received $680,000 in funding for the prototype. If you ever ask someone what superpower they would want, invisibility is often brought up. Well, it might not be too long until we have that possibility. Quantum stealth was invented by Hyperstealth Biotechnology Corporation. The material is made from lenticular lenses, which is a corrugated sheet in which each ridge is made up of a convex facing outward. Essentially, a person stands behind the sheet. The sheet forces the light to bend around the person, only showing the background and hiding the person. It has possible applications in military settings. The cost of such a device is unknown at this time. We can only estimate that the current prototype is worth at least a few $100,000. In the meantime, if you want a taste of invisibility, you can purchase your own Harry Potter invisibility cloak. It's essentially a wearable green screen. You will vanish when being filmed on camera. Online, they're sold for about $60. Now you can have your own Wolverine claws. They're retractable and everything, just without the adamantium. You need a 3D printer, an Arduino microcontroller, and one of Advancer Technology's latest muscle sensors, along with other materials. But firstly, you have to download the schematics online for the printer. The retractable claws react to a sensor on your forearm, rather than being button activated. The sensor kit that contains most of the intricate materials can be bought for $83, while cheap 3D printers can cost around $200. What other superhero gadgets do you wish could be in real life? Pop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. All of those actions really help us out. Finally, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.